Hey guys, it's Sonia J here. So you guys know it is Friday, which means it is Free Game Friday since I know you guys like free stuff. So I figured I'd put you guys up on free game. So just a few weeks ago, I had like this aha moment, right? Where I was going through something, and you know, sometimes when you are going through a whole lot of things at one time, you feel at the time like you're being tested, and it's like the complete wrong time to be tested. You feel completely overwhelmed, unprepared for this test, and you almost start to feel like, why would God in the universe test me with this now? Like, I'm so unprepared as far as passing, and I'm just not, I have so many other things going on. Why would they choose now to test me? And then it dawned on me, right? So God in the universe always have your best interest at heart, and you have free will. I don't think everything is a test. I used to be that kind of person that felt like everything was a test and the universe is testing you. That's why they're sending that toxic ex back in, or that's the reason why that friend that you have not talked to in forever is popping back up when you're getting your life together, when you're doing better and you are getting all your ducks in a row. Here comes that one toxic ex. That's a whole test. That's how I used to feel. And I don't feel that way anymore. Let me explain, because I know you're like, what? No, like they definitely have tests. I don't think that they're all tests. So let me explain. So imagine that you go to Alcohol Anonymous for 30 days. Okay. You are healing. You have been giving all these things to succeed and learn about your addiction and all this stuff. And after 30 days, right, your parent comes to pick you up. And then your parent takes you to a bar and says, all right, go. Like, you learned all this stuff in AA. We're at a bar. How you feeling? That would be awful. Like, that's not what a loving parent does, is to immediately put you in a situation where it's still so fresh and it's still so new. Oh my gosh, this is the real world. I feel so unprepared. God in the universe is like a loving parent, right? They only want what's best for you. They're not going to throw you in this complete situation, like throwing you into a bar and expecting you to pass this test, right? What I honestly started to realize is that what the universe and God does is, you go to Alcohol Anonymous, they come pick you up, and then they take you home. And then they say to you, listen, I know I can't keep you in the house forever. So trust your intuition. Here are red flags. So when you are out with your friends, if one of your friends pulls up to a bar, this is what you should do. If you have certain friends that you guys are out and you guys are like hanging out and everything's going great, and then they take out a flask or they want to order drinks or whatever, and you get tempted, these are the things that you do. Here are the things that you can do to prepare yourself, because once you go out in the real world, guess what? You went to AA, but the rest of the world and your friends have not. So they are going to continue being who they are. And you just need to be ready to adjust yourself accordingly, because you have free will. That is the same thing that God in the universe does, right? So hear me out. So that toxic ex that always seems to come back when you are doing good, when you are trying to move on, when you are trying to heal, whether you started healing or not, that toxic ex was going to come back, because that's what they do. That's what they do. That is the cycle that they're on. As soon as whoever they left you for, or whoever they detached from you for, as soon as they get bored, as soon as things aren't working out, their cycle is always, they come back every few months, or they come back every few weeks, or whatever the case may be. They're going to do that whether you heal or not. Why? Because they're not healing. They're not working on themselves. They're literally doing what they've always done. But you realize something's not right about this. I don't like the way that this feels. I don't like this dynamic. I'm going to try to heal. So me and this person aren't talking. During this time that we're not talking, I'm going to try to heal. That's when you're healing. And then the universe is giving you all these signs, self-love and self-worth and toxicity. This is the reason why you kept going back to that toxic situation. It's because your childhood was toxic. That's all you knew. So you like to be in situations where you're comfortable and you know what to expect. Oh my gosh. All these dots are connecting. So you know, guess what? I attract toxic men because I like toxicity because I grew up in a toxic situation, and attracting toxic men feels comfortable for me. Oh my gosh, I have to work on that so I attract better. Like, all these things are happening. In the meantime, this ex is still doing what they've been doing, and they're planning on coming back anyway. Okay? It's not a test. It's just the universe giving you everything that you need, because the universe knows this person's not doing work. They're going to circle around anyway. The difference is that when you're healing in things, you know better. And when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So now you're working on self-love. You're working on self-respect. You're working on doing better. Now it's a problem. And now it feels weird because you know you want better, but you're not fully healed yet. So you still kind of want this toxic situation. They're kind of saying all the right things. You are kind of lonely. It's been a minute since you had any type of affection. But now you know better. So now it's a tug of war. Now it feels like a test. It's not a test. It's simply you growing and you working through, and the universe is giving you the tools to move forward out of this dynamic, because they knew this person is going to come back through like they always do. That one homegirl that you have that always puts you on blast, always does the most. Nothing is ever her fault. She's always, every time you try to move forward, she's like a crab in a bucket trying to pull you back. Why are you trying to go to school for? You don't need that. Just always doing the most. And every time you try to pump her full of self-help and self-improvement stuff, I'm not reading that. And I don't do meditation, to the point where you're like, I don't even know why I deal with her. And then as soon as you're growing and stuff, here she comes. Girl, I really need you. I miss our friendship. But now you know better. So you're supposed to do better. So now it feels like a test. Now it feels like a tug of war, because now you're like, now I feel like she's sincere, but I know the pattern that we've always been in. It's not a test. It's simply the universe giving you the tools to do better, because they know she's still the person she always was, and she's going to cycle back through. Whether you started working on yourself or not, she was going to come back through anyway. But since you have free will and you decided that you don't want to be in that dynamic anymore, the cycle is going to continue cycling around. You're just making the decision to jump off the hamster wheel. Mind blown, right? Like, I know when I had that moment, I was like, shut the front door. That particular ex was going to call your phone anyway. But now you know that you know better. So we do better. So we delete the whole entire contact. We don't even read the message. We don't even respond. They message you on Facebook. We're not responding to that either. We're just going to go ahead and block them, because we're stopping that cycle. It's not a test. It's simply the world continuing on as it always has. Sometimes we do have tests, but everything is not a test. Sometimes it's simply that you know better. So now that you're getting that self-love and self-respect, there's a part of you that's expecting you to do better. And it's kind of like this tug of war, but this person was going to come back anyway. No matter what happened, this person was going to cycle back through. Right? So remember, failure is only a blueprint of what not to do the next time. I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about that whole dynamic? Do you think every single thing is a test? Or do you think that the universe and God does kind of sometimes give you, little red flags and things to look for? It's almost like homework. Like when you're in school, they give you homework so that you can practice. They don't just send you home. They don't just like teach you one time and then be like, all right, test. No, they give you lots of time to practice it so you can practice it on your own, so that when a test should arise, you are good. And the test would actually be when a brand new toxic person comes in, you say, I did my homework with my ex. I know what you look like. Before we even start the hamster wheel, I'm just going to go ahead and block him because he already shows all these red flags. Or this one homegirl, you just met her and she's already showing all these red flags. That is the test. It's not the hamster wheel dynamic. The text is the new person that shows all these red flags. And you're like, you know what? Before I even jump into this cycle, I'm just going to delete you. I'm just going to not even start a friendship with her because I can already tell how this is going to end. Like that, those are tests. So what do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Is everything a test? Or do you think sometimes it's just homework and we're just supposed to practice it until a test does show up? What do you think?